Hey guys, and welcome to episode 27 of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Chicago Cubs. We are in the National League Championship Series against the San Diego Padres. We lost our last game 5-0. It was our first opportunity to close out the Padres. We are now up 3 games to 2. Um, I think I've decided to do things a little differently. I've come to the conclusion that I don't enjoy playing the games. So I am going to just sim through them. And hopefully we can win it all. And then we'll take a look at the end of the season and, I don't know, figure out what we're going to do. And if we don't win it all, we will start the off season. So if we win it all, it'll probably be a pretty quick series. If we don't, or a pretty quick episode. If we don't win it all, we'll head on to 2026 off season. So Game 6 will face Sixto Sanchez off against Luis Patino. Patino was only 3-11 with a 4.76 ERA on the season. He walked 99 in 119 innings, and Sanchez for us was 12-12, but he was much, much better the second half of the season than he was in the first. So let's go ahead and sim it and see what happens. And we win. We won 8-0, so it was an easy win for us, thankfully. Take a look at the box score. So Eloy Jimenez, 3 for 3 with a pair of RBIs, hit a home run. Jason Dominguez hit a solo home run, and Javi Baez with a 2-run shot of his own. Pitching, Sanchez only went 2 2/3. He got hurt, so that's a problem. Joe Ryan came on, pitched 2 1/3, shutout ball, and then our bullpen, as it has been pretty much all year, was lockdown. Marcano, Dominguez, and Detmers. Tino for them actually didn't pitch badly. Only gave up 1 run in 5, but walked 5, and then their bullpen imploded late in the game. So yeah, it was actually a 2-0 game going into the bottom of the 8th. We close out that series, and we head now to the World Series, where we will take on the Los Angeles Angels again. Okay, so Sanchez is out for 3 weeks. That's going to cause obviously a problem in the pitching staff, but hang on just a second, guys. All right, sorry about that. My kids who were supposed to be in bed decided to come downstairs and say hi to me one more time. So, yeah, so we'll just move Joe Ryan into the starting lineup or into the starting rotation, move Sanchez out, and just sort of deal with it. So we go up against the Angels. If you remember correctly, a couple years back, we had the Angels 3 games to 1 in the World Series and lost 3 straight games. So hopefully get a bit different outcome this time around. So let's see. Is Marquez is ready to pitch. So I'm gonna go Marquez, Mize, Cole. So German Marquez against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani 14-9. Actually, let's take a look at their team. Just do it this way. So Kyron Paris, leadoff hitter, shortstop, not a very good hitter, very good defensively. Eddie Almaraz taking over in center field for Mike Trout. Very, very good defensive center fielder. Obviously can hold that as well. Trout's starting to slow down a little bit. Only hit 250, but did hit 38 home runs and still posted a 400 percentage. Tani, 14-9 as a starter, and he hit 292 with 31 home runs as an outfielder. Aubrey Major, another great season, 42 home runs, 111 RBIs. Excuse me, Tyler Keenan, kind of out of nowhere, 40 home run season. Anthony Rendon continues to just plug away at age 36, another 30 home run season. Rendon's got 350 career home runs, 2,000 hits. Really good career for Rendon. Adrian Placencia, rookie second baseman, as Jeremiah Jackson was their starting second baseman. He'll be back in a couple of days. And then Reese McGuire as the catcher. Shohei Ohtani, Corbin Martin, Lance McCullers, and Seth Eldridge. Seth Eldridge make up their rotation. Corbin Martin won 18 games this season. That is their lineup. They won the World Series 2 years ago, lost in the World Series last year, and they are back in it for a third straight season this year. So let's get to it. Game 1. Angels lead 1-0. They beat us 3-0. So Ohtani set us down. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs. Marquez wasn't bad, but Ohtani was better. So we are in a hole here. Number 2, Casey Mize, Corbin Martin. We're in a big hole now, as it's now 2-0. We get blown out in game 2, 9-1. Shohei Ohtani, couple of home runs in this game after pitching 7 shutout innings in game 1. It is not looking good for us this season, and that's a shame. But we still got a shot at it here. We got to win game 3. That will be Joe Ryan against Lance McCullers. Wow, we have been outscored 16-1 here in 3 games. Ohtani with 2 more home runs. Shohei Ohtani's got 4 home runs and 7 shutout innings in the Look at this. He's 5 for 6 with 4 home runs and 5 RBIs, and he pitched 7 shutout innings so far. Let's just sim game 4 and see what happens. All right, we win one. We won 3-1. Behind who? It was a bullpen game. Detmers pitched 3 2/3. Mendez came on. Marcano, Dominguez, and Ferguson. So, 13 strikeout bullpen game. Dominguez homered, Betts homered, and for some reason Ohtani didn't play. I'm assuming it's because Detmers is a lefty, but still. All right, well, we're still in it. So we're going to have Marquez going against Ohtani in game 5. Let's see if we can keep this thing going. Can. We win 3-0 and we cut the deficit to, wow, look at this. 3-0 in 16 innings. It was a 0-0 game through 15 innings, and then Dorian Gonzalez with a walk-off 3-run home run in the bottom of the 16th to give us the victory. Wow. Marquez 6 2/3 shutout innings. Osorio 2 1/3 shutout. Marcano, Barco, Garcia, and Pruitt, the 22-year-old or 23-year-old rookie, came in, pitched 3 shutout innings of relief to pick up the win. Matt Ball with the loss, so we're still in this one, guys. All right, game 6 rather. Sees Casey Mize against Corbin Martin. Can we force a game 7? We cannot. The Los Angeles Angels have beat the Chicago Cubs, and we were up 4-1 in this one. What happened in the 7th? Error by Rafael Devers opened the floodgates, and Sir Anthony Dominguez gave up 5 unearned runs. Ugh, that's just bad. We lose to the Angels for the 2nd time in 3 years in the postseason. And that means we have an offseason to do. Wasn't expected, but it is what it is. All right, so we're going to have some work to do here. I wasn't planning on that. I wasn't planning on it 2 years ago or when we won 109 games, but it is what it is. So, all right. All right, so we're up to a 42-man roster now. Caleb Ferguson voided his last contract year. Javi Baez voided his, and Sir Anthony Dominguez voided his. That's probably okay for the most part. Look at all the pending free agents, guys. This is going to be quite an off season for us. Have for money. Let's start there. Front office, where am I? So we got plenty of money. $70 million in free agents, 60 for extensions. All right. So let's think about what we want to do here. So this will be obviously very important. Javi Baez turned down his $19 million salary. Wants 18 a year for the next, well, he wants 18 for the next 3, then 16, 16, 13. Sir Anthony Dominguez, what does he want? wants the same. He just wants it for an longer period of time. Caleb Ferguson wants 9. Davy Garcia wanted like, yeah. Do we? Elvin Gutierrez is angry with us. We're not going to re-sign Austin Meadows. Oh, he wants 17 for 3. Why? Does Sanchez want? Yeah, that's a lot of money. Okay. So let's take a look at these first. These are easy. Bo Naylor, it's 9.9. Jason Dominguez wants 5.2. Let's a bit of a step back this year, but he's still for what he does really well. So let's talk to Dominguez, see if he'll take 5. 5, I'll be okay with that. All right, so he'll take 5. Vaughn wants 4. He wants a long-term deal. I don't want to give him a long 30, 28, and it's a placeable position. Let's try this. See if he'll take 4 this year. A 4-1. 4-2. Detmers, that's fine. Pena, that's fine. Bo Naylor wants 9.9. Take 9.5. I bet. That we may have to look into signing him long term. He's been really, really good in his 3 full seasons. But catchers, I like to take on a year by year basis because you just never know. He could plummet starting next season. All right, Joe Ryan. It's 12. Already 30. So let's look at this first. So if we lose everybody, then we have 2 starters, right? We have Marquez and Mize, and I suppose Barco. Mendez can slide into the rotation as well. He's about ready. So we really only need, and we also have Pruitt. So we really only need to bring back one of these guys. And in a bullpen, we have Osorio, Marcano, and Detmers. Either one of these guys can move into that closer stopper role. Feel like if I bring one of them back, it needs to be Dominguez. I think what we do is we focus on Dominguez and Sanchez. Maybe. I think the first thing we do is we try to move Orion. Don't non-tender, we try to trade. So let's see what we can get. Hey, a first baseman named Manny Ramirez. Right fielder named Flores is really good, and he can play first base as well. Okay. Might have a trade with Baltimore set up here. We could improve our bullpen right away by picking up either Rodriguez or Butcher. Get both. Get Butcher and Rodriguez, and that solves our bullpen problem. The third baseman. To 3-star guys. Not dealing with the Cardinals. Let's take a look and see what we. But Baltimore and Cleveland are the two teams we're looking at. Offensively, we're still in pretty good shape. There's not a whole lot we need to do offensively. Look at our, maybe if we pick up one of these guys from Baltimore, Vaughn becomes movable. Maybe I think Nick Gonzalez is probably movable too, with Gonzalez there at second base. But our outfield is set. Even if we can't bring back Jimenez, we've got Adams, who is going to be an elite hitter, if not a great fielder. He's going to be an elite hitter. Dominguez, Betts, and Pena are our four outfielders. Jimenez just wants too much money. Can't pay him and Sanchez. We can pay one or the other. He was really good for us, though. At 969 OPS, 20 home runs in 59 games. Let's see what he's looking for in free agency. But I don't think we need a. Ultimately, it's pitching. Get both of these guys, Butcher and Rodriguez. Not a fair deal. They don't want really anything. If Bridich says this is not close to being fair, there's something else that we can do here. Oh, they got a lot of young pitching talent. Look at that 25, 25, 25. Three really, really good young pitchers. Shortstop's going to be an issue if we don't bring back Javi, so that's something we're going to have to look at. Prospects. Just took their two best. Sure. He's going to think, let's just try to close that down. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do that. Okay, they don't like the fact that we traded Joe Ryan, but that's fine. So that pretty much solves our bullpen issue. Because now with Dominguez, Ferguson, and Garcia gone, we now have Osorio, Marcano, Butcher, Rodriguez, and whichever pitcher doesn't make the. Well, assuming we are able to re-sign Sanchez, that leaves us with Marquez, Mize, Barco, Mendez, Sanchez, and Pruitt as starters. Whichever one doesn't make it goes into the bullpen. So I think that puts us in a pretty good position to look to bring back Javi and Sanchez. Yeah. All right. So we got to bite the bullet. I mean, we have to bring Baez back. I'm not going to bring him back at 6 years. Let's see if he'll take something like this. Take 3 years at 15. About 4 years at 15. Really wants that fifth. All right, so 5 years at $14 million. I'm okay with that. It's going to be an overpay at the end, but his numbers have held up pretty okay. You know, I mean, we started in 2020, and I mean, 34 home runs, 102 RBIs is right in line with what he's been doing for us. And 4 was down a little bit, but it's okay. I'll take it. All right. So we got Javi. Let's talk to Sanchez. Not giving him 10 years. I would 6. The player opt out after 4. And let's see if we can shave just a little. Try that. 25, 28, 30, 35, 35, 30. Okay, he'll take it. All right. So that takes him till he's 34. His numbers look like they're holding up okay. So now, do we want to offer any of these guys arbitration? See if what's going on. That's got to be a bug of some sort. I don't understand what's going on here at all. Whatever. I want to bring back Nez. It's like all the pitchers' numbers are jacked up. I don't understand why, but that's fine. I don't really need to bring any of those other guys back. All right. So Dominguez, we're not going to offer him arbitration because he'll take it. Same with Ferguson. I'm contemplating offering it to Garcia, if for no other reason, because if he takes it, we'll still have $18 million. I don't think he would take it, would he? Meadows is another one. He's looking for 17 for 3. That's when I can't. No, I think we're just going to hold off. I'm not comfortable. I don't think either of them are going to get that much, and I just feel like they both would take it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead to free agency, and we'll see what's available. Be right back. All right, guys, we're back. It is free agency time. Let's take a look really quickly let's take a look at a few things that happened really quickly leading up to this point. So, some bad news. We lost, and this went a little under the radar, but Casey Mize was knocked out of Game 6 after 5 2/3 innings with an injury, and it turns out to be a pretty serious one, as he is down for the next year with a torn flexor tendon in his elbow. Because of that, I made the decision to offer arbitration to Davy Garcia. If he had taken it, we could have I could have just plugged him in. I wanted the extra arm just in case. He declined it, which is fine. So this is what our bullpen or our rotation looks like at the moment. Actually, won't let me put him on the injury list because it's the off season. So right now, this is what we look like. So we do need another bullpen arm, but that's fine. We were able to sign Sanchez to that contract. So again, 6 years, 188 million, 25, 28, 30, 35, opt out 35, and then a player option for 35. It's a lot of money, but only takes him until he's 34, and he's been pretty durable and pretty reliable for us. We did also re-sign Javier Baez to the 5 year, $70 million, $14 million a year contract. Hopefully he's able to maintain this for the next 2 or 3 years, and it won't be an issue. But he is going to be our starting shortstop. I also wanted to show you this. So Juan Soto, with the 3rd highest number of walks in Major League history last year, most by anybody not named Barry Bonds. He walked 179 times a year ago. He's now led the league 5 straight seasons in bases on balls. Another MVP. He's 28 years old. He's just absolutely incredible. 362 home runs and 15 home runs by the time he is 28. Crazy. So Gold Gloves, Alzolay, Rushman, Olson, Zamora, Witt Jr., Gabriel Arias, Garrett Mitchell, Everson Pereira, and Aaron Judge in the National League. Dyson, Ali Sanchez, Pavin Smith, Dorian Gonzalez, no surprise there. Matt Chapman, Adele Amador, Alec Thomas, Harrison Bader, and Alex Verdugo. NL pitcher or reliever of the year, Santiago Flores with Pittsburgh. Dominguez finished 2nd. AL Silver Sluggers, Tyler Soderstrom, Jordan Alvarez, Luis Garcia, Jose Ramirez, Wander Franco, Joey Gallo, Luis Robert, Julio Rodriguez, and Trout. And in the National League, Hunter Green, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Gavin Lux, Aaron Sabato, Tatis Jr., Soto, Bellinger, and Harper. So no Cubs on that list. AL Rookie of the Year is J.T. Schwartz, 46 home runs as a 26-year-old rookie. Over in the National League, Joaquin Cabrera, 50 home runs as a rookie. National League Best Manager, Jace Tingler of the Padres. German Marquez wins his second straight Cy Young Award. His numbers are starting to drop a little bit. That's a bit concerning as he's under contract for another 4 seasons. Wander Franco won the AL MVP, and again, Soto wins the NL MVP. Eloy Jimenez finished 4th. He's currently a free agent. So let's take a look at the international free agents really quickly. Really bad luck with the international free agents. It's like we're going to continue to have bad luck. Yep. Free agents: Forrest Whitley, Arenado, Peralta, Duplantier, Hudson, Jimenez, Tucker, DeGrom is a free agent. Davey Garcia and Chris Paddock. So there are some pitchers. So again, if we look at, let's go here first. So we're set at catcher. I want to move Nick Gonzalez. So we don't really need a backup. Got a lot of talent in the minor leagues. Bring up a 5th outfielder, one who can play some defense. It'll probably be Stewart because he can play all 3 defensive positions. We don't need an outfielder. We're going to need. Want to bring up Van Luke yet? I think so. So maybe a backup corner infielder to replace whatever his name was. I forgot his name, but the backup middle infielder that we had previously. And then we have Sanchez, Marquez, Sanchez, Mendez, Barco, and Pruitt. So maybe a starter that would move one of these other guys into bullpen. So maybe a starting pitcher and a backup corner infielder, and that's really about it. We could promote from within too. Jared Jones probably deserves to be called up. Oh man, so much talent in the minors. Mario Gonzalez is going to be a better second baseman. So what might end up happening is Baez, when it's all said and done, may end up being a backup. Player, and Gonzalez will play second, and Dorian Gonzalez will play short, where he's just as good as he is at second. So, all right. So let's take a look at the offseason. So again, pitcher and backup middle infielder, or backup corner infielder. And see what we're talking about. Menez is up to asking for $41 million, so he won't be coming back to us. Matt Chapman had a really nice run with the Mets 3 years. I think the Mets would take that. He hit 40 home runs every year, won 3 Gold Gloves. With the Mets, he's still an elite defensive third baseman, and he's back on the open market at 33. So, make somebody else relatively happy here. That's how many Gold Gloves? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Gold Gloves. 3 All-Star games, 9 Gold Gloves. Yeah, he's pretty good. All right, so starting pitcher, backup corner infield. So let's do this. Look at pitchers, and let's see what we've got. Freddie Peralta wants $30 million in a comp pick. Brom wants 17 and no comp pick, but he's not the same pitcher. He's out for the next 3 months. 4 games last year. He didn't pitch badly, but I'm not going to give him $17 million. McKay wants 25. Forrest Whitley wants 21, and he's fragile. Centyon wants 16, and he's wrecked. I don't know. Maybe starting pitching isn't going to happen. Oda Hudson, 16. K might not be a bad option as my 4 or 5. I mean, he's a captain. He's 31. How many years does he want? Probably wants like 7 years. He wants 4. But do we really need another starting pitcher? Marquez, Pruitt, Barco, Mendez, Sanchez. We've got Jared Jones and Reed Detmers if we need other starters. So I think we're okay on starters. So maybe it's a bullpen arm. Maybe we are looking for the best possible bullpen arm. Let's do this. Of course, it's going to be like 3 of the top 4 are mine. Dominguez, Ferguson, and Garcia. What do we want? Just say screw it and bring Dominguez back? Or I think what we might do is let's hold off and see what the market looks like for Garcia. And because we don't need a front of the bullpen guy, we need a back of the bullpen guy. So, I mean, Dominguez would be nice. Dominguez would be nice bringing him back. I don't want to give him $14 million. What I really want to do is bring back Garcia. That's my top option, but not at 19-4. All right, so let's look at batters. So we want corner infielders. So let's do that. So Kelvin Gutierrez is who we had. Probably come back. Maybe Nevin, righty. Pretty good against both righties and lefties. Really good at first base. Okay at third. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess around here for a little bit. I'm going to look for somebody who's good defensively at first and third, can hit with a little power, see what we can find out, see what we can do with the pitching staff, and we'll come back at the Rule 5. So hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, guys, it is Rule 5 draft time. A couple of things of note leading up to the Rule 5. Eloy Jimenez has re-signed with the New York Mets, so that one was a bit rough as we gave up a pretty elite level prospect in Esteban Castillo, who's now up to a 4-star, and we got half a season out of Jimenez. So that sucks, but we weren't going to re-sign him, and that gave us an opportunity to get better in left field, and I think ultimately you make a deal like that when you have the opportunity. Anthony Rendon signed a big contract with the Yankees, and Davy Garcia actually signed with the Milwaukee Brewers. They're making him a starter, which is exactly what we expected. He's not going to be as good as a starter. You can see his stuff is down to a 79. It's up over a 90 as a reliever. He signed a pretty big contract, 5 years, $89 million. And because of that, we will get a supplemental second round pick. So that's fine. It's Rule 5 time, so let's take a look and see if there's anybody that we need to add to 40-man and remove from the 40-man. Lots of people. Well, that's not our team. Got a lot of 2-star players on our 40-man. Understand that. All right, so we got a couple players we can remove if we need to. Let's take a look at play. White. He's not a bad backup corner infielder, but I'm at this point I don't care if he's taken. Morales is a bullpen arm. I'm really just looking at my key players. Like Wagner, I've got a soft spot for because he was one of my first draft picks, but he's still no good. Or not great, I should say. I don't think Fleming's hurt. Yeah, I think we do this. get Wagner on there. Just call it a day. I have to do something with Van Luke here at some point. We'll have to decide when it's time to move on from Vaughn. That could be next year. Van Luke is bad defensively, but has the potential to just be an elite offensive performer. So I think we give him one more year in AAA. Same thing at catcher. We've got Ronier Quintero in the minors. We've got Alvarez and Naylor in the majors. Naylor is our starter. Alvarez is the backup, but potentially Alvarez is better than Naylor, and Naylor's on a $9.5 million deal this year, so this could be his last year with us. It could be Vaughn's last year for us. Oh, we traded Nick Gonzalez. We traded him for just a minor league outfielder. We just wanted to get the salary off the books. We traded him here for Vitor Watanabe. It's just a very, very good defensive outfielder with a lot of speed, good eye. So he's kind of that typical slap hitter, leadoff guy. So he'll start in AAA. And then we also made a deal to solidify the bullpen a little bit. Traded a 23-year-old two-star second baseman to Memphis in exchange for Aaron Fletcher. I mentioned that we weren't looking for somebody to be that back part of our bullpen, or we weren't looking for the closer or setup guy. We were looking for just another middle reliever type, and he fits the bill, I think. 3 good pitches, decent stuff, movement control, so he'll be good in the pen for us. So let's go to the Rule 5. Picking 29th. Let's just look and see what we got. He's all right. I don't think there's anything here worth getting overly excited about, but let's go ahead and go to our next pick. Think we should take anybody? Cash Case. Really? Really? This is who you think I should take in the Rule 5 draft? Okay. That's not going to happen. Could use a backup second baseman, though. We're just going to... I think we're just going to skip the Rule 5 this year. There doesn't appear to be anything here that is better than what we have or better than what we could have. We've got some players that we could call up that are just as good as every one of these players, if not better. See anything blowing me away here. Just check pictures just to make sure I'm not overlooking it. Closer. Tyler Fullman would be really nice if I was a rebuilding type team. Have this kind of player in my system, but we're not. All right, we're just going to go ahead and draft. There's nothing there. All right, so let's do Hall of Fame voting, and then we'll go to opening day. All right, so what do we got? Bartolo Colon, obviously. Jack Greinke, I think so. Cy Young, 7 Gold Gloves, 7 All-Stars, 62 WAR, 220 wins. I think that's Hall of Fame caliber now. I mean, it wouldn't have been 20 years ago, but I think it is now. Todd Helton. Tim Hudson. He's not going to get in, but I'm going to vote for him anyway. Same with John Lester. He's not going to get in, but I'm going to vote for him. If Joe Mauer had done all of this as a catcher, I think it's a no-brainer. These are his numbers solely as a catcher. I think it's an easy decision. As a catcher first baseman, Not so much. Edie, because Red Sox, uh, be it. Not a great class this year. All right. So I'm going to sim ahead to the beginning of the regular season. We'll cover any moves that I made between now and then. We'll set the lineups, set the pitching staff, and we'll call it an episode. So, right back. All right. It is opening day. So, we're going to have to set the lineups here. A couple intro. I guess since it's here, we'll look at the top prospects. There are no Cubs on the list. Stand minor league system wise, we are second. Mendez is the number 11, Gonzalez 14, Mata 16th, Bernal 22, and Guaraca 39. So we've got 5 in the top 40, and we have the second best prospect list in majors. So it's fine. Couple of, let's just take a look at Sir Anthony Dominguez signed a really reasonable contract with the Southsiders. 3 years, $23 million, 7.7 a year. I would have signed him for that, but he was asking for $14 million right off the bat. And Caleb Ferguson signed with the Phillies, 1 year, $6.8 million. So that's where those guys ended up. We made another minor bullpen deal. Let's look. I think it's going to be in sure, yeah. So if we go to get January, I guess. Yep. We traded a half-star starting pitcher for Alex Fado. He was on the trade block, and Red Sox wanted next to nothing for him. With Fado, you know what you're going to get. He's going to give out. He's going to strike a lot of batters out. He's not going to walk a lot of batters, and he's going to give up a lot of hits and a lot of home runs. So if he can limit those home runs to solo shots, I think we'll be okay. He's been a starter for the Red Sox. He'll be a bullpen guy for us. And in some really kind of funny video game style news, Josh Hader signed a 4-year contract worth $47.9 million, and they brought him in to be a starter. You can see starting pitcher Hader signs with Rangers. They brought him in on 120 on a 4-year, $47 million contract, and on 121 it was announced that his rehab failed and his career is over. So something happened between the evening of the 20th and the morning of the 21st to poor Josh Hader, and that ended his career. So found that interesting. Nolan Arenado signs contract with the Red Sox, so he is done in Colorado after a lot of years. It's 14 seasons, where he hit almost 500 home runs, almost 25 hits. So, what do his ratings look like? I mean, he could potentially end up with 600 home runs and 3,000 hits. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. So, some of the stuff that happened in the rest of the offseason, Tom Ricketts wants us to win it all. It's expected. We have to trim the fat. We got 33 players on the big league roster. We got to send some of them down. Start with pitchers. We have to send a couple of pitchers down here. At least one. So Luke Lito is going to go down. I want to run with 13 pitchers. I don't believe so. Jared Jones is probably the other one. He's out of option years. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I mean, ignore these numbers. Something is going on with the AAA numbers. So, send Detmers down. I think that's the play. See if we can send Detmers down. Can't. All right, so we're gonna have to make a decision here. Either Reed Detmers or Jared Jones, and I think it's gonna be Detmers because Jared Jones is the homegrown player. So let's just shop Detmers around. See, okay, we can get nothing. Get any sort of non 40 man. No, people just want me to take expensive or want me to take contracts. That's fine. I mean, I got no problem non tendering him. I mean, that type of pitcher's a dime a dozen. Detmers is going to get DFA'd. And that sets our pitching staff. Let's clear everything. Pitching staff. All right, so German Marquez is our ace. Sixto Sanchez is our 2. Now it gets interesting because we've got Jones, Mendez, Pruitt, and Pruitt got a whole lot better in the offseason. Mendez, he's really good too. I think we go Pruitt. I'm going to go Pruitt, Mendez, Jones, and my reasoning behind that is scouting, and that may change when it comes back around. But right now, Mendez, my scouting on him is only average. So if these numbers aren't quite that good, um, then I want him in the 4 hole. Wow. Okay, that's a decent pitching staff. Although I wish it would be nice to have Casey Mize there. But oh wait, I forgot about Hunter Barco. Hunter Barco's my number 5. Not That's what I wanted. I want Hunter Barco as my number 5 starter. So Osorio. Osorio is my closer. No, it's going to be Marcano. Marcano is my closer. So he's going to be my stopper. 8th and close game. Osorio is going to be my closer. 8th plus or later. Rodriguez is going to is or 2. Go Rodriguez. Butcher. There. Jared Jones will be long relief. Emergency starting pitcher. And I don't want either of these guys to pitch more. I want to lean on Osorio and Marcano. Those are going to be the 2 guys I lean on. And then as Rodriguez and Butcher develop, they can pick up more innings. Fletcher is going to my middle relief / specialist. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, it would be a whole lot better if we had Casey Mize because one of these guys could be in the bullpen. But, deal with what we have to deal with. So we have to send 5 batters down. So Kessler and Quintero. Guess is we're probably gonna have to move Kessler. Yeah. I was afraid of. And he's the type of player, 3-star starting catcher, who will get plucked on the waiver wire. So let's offer him up in deals and see what becomes available. A lot of 2 and 3-star. And nobody really young. They're all Sensia is okay. He's another starting. It's not very. I want to get something for him. I don't want to just waive him because he'll get picked up and then I'll lose him for nothing. So I may as well just look and see what the best. I think this is probably the option because of events. Got a 20-year-old. That's the way we go. Only 20, and you never know what's going to happen with a 20-year-old. Old closer. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take 20-year-old closer or 20-year-old center fielder. Can we add anything else? That I even want to add? Old starter? Nope. Okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is because we're so close to it, I would rather have somebody like Hartle that I can use and plug into the rotation if somebody gets hurt. Somebody like Pacas is so far away that I don't think he's going to help us in the long run. So, all right, that works. And Hartle has to be on the 40 man. We'll stick him in AAA. All right, so I have to send down three more. So one of them is going to be Van Luke, one is going to be Wagner, and interesting. So we're going to send these guys down. So now we actually have, we're where we need to be, but we actually have room to bring somebody up that help us. So let's look at what we have. Nevin, we signed to play backup first and third. Brady McConnell actually is going to be the shortstop and third baseman. So I can use somebody who could play second. Do I really need? I don't think I need Tor Watanabe up right now. Probably use a second baseman more. Do I have anybody in the second? It's a corner fielder. Pedro Martinez. These weren't so bad. I might call him up. I'm just afraid he's going to affect the feeling on the club. Don't need six outfielders. Do I just go? I think maybe I just go with the 13th pitcher. Pull him off. And so let's just do that. So lineups. All right. So against righties. Mookie bat first. Dorian Gonzalez is going to stay in that two hole. He played pretty well there. And I'm not crazy about him in the two spot. That may what I see about that. Devers at third. The offense just the lineup just isn't as deep without Adams is just a look at that against righties. Adams is my two hitter. Vaughn will bat cleanup. So catcher, second, short, and center. I think Pena is going to end up playing against lefties. Yes, also better against lefties. Get a left-handed. I'd like to get a left-handed hitter in there. 5 hole, but I don't have any. So, all right. So what are we gonna do? So we go Naylor, Baez, Naylor, then Baez, Gez, and Dorian. So I guess that's probably the best we're going to need another bat at some point, I think. Let's see what it wants to do. It wants to start Alvarez every second game. Necessarily. I don't want to do this, but I will give him a start once a week. This. Let's do every fifth game because he's going to be starting against lefties. So let's do that. Is there anybody else that needs to get? Yeah, I want McConnell playing second as well. It's not ideal because he's not a great second baseman or he doesn't have any experience there, but I think he can probably learn it with his other abilities. So, all right, yeah, offensively, it could be a little rough this year. If my 1 through 4 does well, we'll be okay, but offensively, it could be a little rough. Add and paste it in here. Let's go back. So we got to add a DH against lefties. Yeah. Actually, it's Adams. Pena really makes this lineup a whole lot better, but again, only against DHs. So, funnel. Let's change this back to here. This to here. Don't want Naylor playing. All right. Against lefties. Paste and things are going to be very different, I think, against lefties. So paste is going to be for Adams. Change the lineup around a bit here. Mookie. Something like that. Alvarez is going to bat against lefties, right? Something like this. Something like that. Again, our offense looks like it could be a bit of an issue, but we'll figure it out. Stewart will get some playing time here against lefties, but it's not going to be every second game. It's going to be fifth game. Copy. Paste. Depth chart. Who's going to be our DH against lefties? So we're going to bring Stewart. Stewart's going to get the playing time. Just a matter of who goes to. It's not going to be Stewart. He's the best defensive outfielder we have. Is it Dominguez? Dominguez. All my outfielders are really good defensively, so I guess it's going to be Stewart in left. Evan. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm not sure about this year, guys. It looks like, I think we peaked a couple years ago, 109 and 53. This year might be a step back, as offensively we're not that strong. There are a couple players that we may end up moving on from at the end of the season if things don't go well. Andrew Vaughn, Bo Naylor, maybe even Jason Dominguez, as we've got some players who step into that center field role and play just as good defensively and potentially better offensively. We'll also keep an eye out for a bat. Hopefully Adams can deliver for us. If he can hit like his ratings suggest against righties, we'll be okay. If he can't, we're going to have problems offensively. Pitching, I think we're going to be fine. Not having Casey Mize for the year is going to hurt, but as long as Marquez stays relatively solid, him, Sanchez, Pruitt, Mendez, and Barco, that's a pretty solid rotation. Bullpen, we're in pretty good shape as well. So That's going to do it. So when we, I guess, come back next time, it'll be beginning of May. We'll play that one through the All Star or through the trade deadline. So yeah, um, as always, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and until we talk again, everybody take care. Bye bye.